Hello everybody and welcome to Shelby This Week. We are nearing the end of 2015. It's been an exciting year, so we'll take a look back at everything that has happened here in Shelby Township. And one last slice, find out when and why a local pizza place will be closing its doors. And we'll update you on the 5th member of a local family who will stay in jail for a family-operated drug ring. But first, an update on a crash that shut down M59 for several hours earlier this month. A car going westbound between Mound and Ryan crashed when it was hit by a tire that dislodged from a truck traveling eastbound. Both drivers were not seriously injured, but the 24-year-old passenger in the car had to be cut out by fire crews and is recovering from serious injuries. Around the same time, officers were also called to another crash just down the road around DeQuinder, but no injuries there. A woman accused of killing her husband inside the Macomb Township home now denies her previous claim she was a victim of abuse. 61-year-old Julie Shimilak is facing second-degree murder charges for allegedly shooting her husband in the chest while he was at the computer back in November. At her arraignment, she claimed to be the victim.
I am suffering from battered woman syndrome because he threatened to kill me.
But now Shimilak denies ever saying that and refers to the incident as an accidental shooting. A psychiatric evaluation may be ordered by her defense to test her state of mind. Shimilak was institutionalized twice in the past 20 years. She will be back in court later this month. The 5th member of a family who sold synthetic marijuana out of a Shelby gas station will remain in the Macomb County Jail for the next 4 to 18 months. 38-year-old Dabish pled guilty to delivering and manufacturing a non-narcotic drug. Dabish was one of 6 family members charged with various offenses after police raided their family-owned gas station back in the fall of 2012. Police say they were selling synthetic marijuana, also known as K2 spice. The 4 others were already charged and sentenced in the case, and the mother is waiting to appear in court for a preliminary examination. The holidays bring joy and cheer, but also concerns over safety. Nick Buckler is looking at easy things you can do to prevent yourself from becoming a victim.
If you're still doing some last-minute Christmas shopping, you may be making some crucial mistakes. In between pit stops, you might leave your gifts in your car so the kids don't see what you got them. Well,
it's as simple as covering up your gifts. If people don't see anything through your windows, they likely won't break in. The trunk is also a good place to store items. Out of sight, out of mind. Parking in well-lit and well-populated areas to blend in with others will also make you less of a target. And if you won't be in town for the holidays, the police have you covered.
The Shelby Township Police Department offers a vacation list. If you call the police department, when you know the time frame that you're going to be gone, we have a vacation book where extra patrols are done in your neighborhood, in your house.
Now that you're prepared for the holidays, have a Merry Christmas and we'll see you next year. Nick Buckler, Shelby This Week.
Nick, very good tips, thank you. A beloved pizza place is closing its doors after 7 years in business. The American Pie Pizza Buffet at 22 Mile and Shaner has been open since December of 2008. In that time, the restaurant has won multiple awards, including the Macomb Daily's Best of the Best Reader's Choice Award for Best Buffet. But the owners have been unable to reach an agreement with their landlord and will close just a couple of days before Christmas. They released a statement thanking its customers, saying it was a privilege to serve the community. A 3-person panel is now in charge of picking the new Macomb County treasurer. The committee will establish the requirements and choose a deadline to fill the vacant position, this after the death of Treasurer Ted Wabi, who held the office since 1995. Until it's filled, Deputy Treasurer Jerry Moffitt will do the job. Moffitt is also in the running as a candidate for Wabi's successor. Whoever is appointed will serve the remainder of the current term until the end of December of next year. The community center here in Shelby Township houses the 41A District Court, the library, the senior center, and us here at Shelby TV. But some big changes are coming after the Board of Trustees approved a move in the budget. $1.1 million will be transferred from this year's general fund and another $1.1 million from next year's. The township has also set aside $600,000 for the community center as well. The money will go towards improving the court and the center and creating more space for everyone who's located right now under the same roof. And with the new allocations, financial officials for the township say it will not leave the budget in any type of debt. Supervisor Stathakis will discuss more on these improvements being made during our 2016 Look Ahead episode of Shelby This Week that airs on January 1st at 6 o'clock. Well, we're nearing the end of 2015, and our own Charlie Cadotto has looked back at the year and brings you an update on everything that has happened since. Charlie?
Thanks, Nick. Certainly a lot has happened in Shelby over the past year, from road construction to local tragedies. We take a look back at some of the biggest stories of 2015. In February, Shelby welcomed a new chief of police. Chief Robert July joined the department from Southfield, where he spent 21 years. Under his leadership, there's been more training, new officers, and a new traffic safety unit. More on his work to come. Also in February, a new Kroger marketplace opened at 23 and Hayes. The 115,000 square foot facility added 400 new jobs. Kroger spent $22 million to build the location, and later in August, news of a second Kroger came to Shelby. The new location will be at 26 and Van Dyke, and construction has already begun. In March, Congresswoman Candace Miller announced she would not be seeking re-election. New names quickly joined a crowded field of Republican candidates. That primary will be held later next year. In April, the Humane Society of Macomb came under fire for allegedly mistreating their animals. Protesters lined the sidewalk for weeks, demanding changes at the facility. Shelby TV spoke to its director, Shirley Burgess, at the time. And they always have the blankets in the water?
They do, yes. Now they do, yes.
Well, before they didn't?
Well, the older dogs did, like this here, but some of these guys chew them up.
Since last check, the Humane Society of Macomb appears to have made positive changes. In May, tragedy came to Shelby Township after a car accident at Stony Creek Metro Park. The crash claimed the lives of 3 teens. Jonathan Manolios, Emmanuel Malage, and Michael Wells died on May 8. Greg Bobchek and Joseph Nara were critically injured. All 5 attended Utica Community Schools.
Just keep praying and just keep praying.
A vigil brought the community together following the crash. Months later, we learned the teens all had alcohol in their system. Surviving teens face minor in possession charges. Later in May, West Bay Exploration announced they would stop drilling for oil in Shelby Township. The Traverse City Company left their operation apparently because it wasn't economically viable. Homeowners near the area were upset for months and tried to stop this from happening earlier. May was also quite a bizarre month as Shelby made world news. It's not what you're thinking. This pig in the back of a police cruiser captured media attention and a whole lot of likes on the police department's Facebook page. The pig was apparently lost, and police were able to deliver the animal back to its owner, but not before putting him in cuffs. And finally, big news in May, the auto supply company Paslin announced they would open in Shelby. The company added 200 new jobs and a new headquarters along Cherry Creek Corporate Park.
I think they're going to do very well here.
The headquarters, around 170,000 square feet. In June, residents had quite a bit to say as roads across Shelby were closed. Construction on the 24-mile water main project had some residents upset.
23-mile and 26-mile, 25-mile are really suffering the high volume.
The 42-inch water main took months to be completed. It also took a total reconstruction on the affected roads. Later that month, news came of a new ballpark in Utica. Businessman Andy Appleby threw in millions to build Jimmy John's Field, which is expected to open in 2016. You had a project this big before?
Nope. That I can answer in one word.
Utica is just under 2 square miles, so this brought quite a change to the area. And as if a pig wasn't enough, Shelby had another animal visitor. This goat was found wandering around township grounds. Macomb County Animal Control had to pick this guy up. Moving on, in July, police raided a medical supply store that they say was actually a marijuana business. Advanced Medical Supply on Van Dyke was shut down, and prosecutors looked at possible charges. In August, township officials looked at the possible renovation of Shelby's community center. As of now, officials have created a committee to research its needs. This includes possible construction changes to 41A District Court. And later that month, new development came to Shelby that meant new jobs. Sienna Healthcare opened this center after an investment of $9.5 million. It's estimated to have created 120 new jobs. And also in August, potholes made big news. Many residents were angry over road conditions throughout the state. Proposal 1 was on the table, but was soundly rejected by voters.
A lot of people are frustrated. Is it right, Police Oak?
Yes, it is.
In September, the future of Selfridge Air National Guard Base was talked about yet again. A congressional delegation visited the base and looked at aircrafts like this A-10, one of the only jets flying out of Selfridge.
It's an indispensable place, Selfridge.
And later in September, President Obama came to Macomb County to talk education.
Great excitement, great opportunities.
This was the president's 17th visit to Michigan. September was quite a busy month. The National Coney Island on 23 and Shaner targeted in daylight. This guy, 23-year-old Nicholas Corner, allegedly told employees he had a gun and wanted to rob the place.
I went to instant protection mode.
Corner admitted to history of drug abuse and home invasions. Police officials stayed busy through September. Investigators looked at what caused this house fire on 26 and Van Dyke, which started in the garage. A dog was killed in that fire. And in October, Police Chief Shelby launched a traffic safety unit after learning 23 and Shaner was the most dangerous intersection in Macomb County.
We need officers out doing enforcement in the area.
New police officers were also hired that month. In November, talks of a new fire station began. Fire Chief Jim Swinkowski looked at constructing a new station, which would cost $1.7 million. They would also plan to hire 9 new firefighters. And in late November, this woman, 61-year-old Julie K. Shimilak of Macomb Township, allegedly shot her 75-year-old husband and killed him.
I am suffering from battered woman syndrome.
She remains in custody. And of course, we look forward to telling your stories in 2016. For Shelby This Week, I'm Charlie Cadado.
Charlie, a tough assignment, but well done. Thank you very much. Still ahead here on Shelby This Week, get out your hiking boots. We've got more on the new trail that's opened up right here in our backyard. And we're spending a holiday at the movies. Find out how a local symphony orchestra is making the movie-going experience more festive. A new trail opening up right here in our backyard. Andrew Shelsky has more.
The city of Utica and Shelby Township joined together to celebrate the grand opening of the Clinton River Hike and Bike Trail.
It goes through Utica's entire segment is done from our border with Sterling Heights all the way to River Bends in Shelby Township. And we finished the earlier segment 3 years ago, and now this segment in the last 4 years have been at work at it. You literally can come from Shelby Township, Rochester, Richmond, all the way to Metro Beach or downtown Detroit, and you can go the other direction and go way up into the midsection of the Mitten. It's wonderful.
The Iron Bell Trail will consist of 774 miles of biking trail and 1,259 miles of hiking trail.
You know, not only is this a tremendous improvement to our recreational infrastructure, but it's also a great testament to government collaboration between not only Utica and Shelby Township, but the county, SEMCOG, and all the agencies that the mayor has mentioned.
The trail extends all the way through the Lower Peninsula, across the Upper Peninsula from Belle Isle to the city of Ironwood in the UP.
It's just been amazing, and we always try to improve the quality of life for our residents. And this trail right here, the amount of support it's had, and when it's finally complete, it'll be from Iron Mountain all the way to Belle Isle. Originally, back in 1995 when this trail started, it was the Stony Creek to Metro Beach Trail. It still will be, but it's evolved into that from Governor Snyder, from Iron Mountain to Belle Isle Trail. And I just want to add, I'd like to thank the Shelby Township Board of Trustees for their support, because without that, these beautiful trails would not have happened.
The trail was constructed with a $2 million grant from the Federal Highway Administration.
Can't say enough for the federal government through Debbie Stabenow and the Michigan Department of Transportation, County of Macomb, our own DPW, and Joe Youngblood in Shelby Township DPW. We appreciate all the help. As a project, the team did a great job.
For Shelby This Week, I'm Andrew Shelsky.
Oh, when is the last time you sat down to read a good book? For a group of people at the Shelby Township Public Library, they sit down to read one every single month. The Afternoon Book Club is celebrating their 30th anniversary here in Shelby. They've been meeting every third Thursday of the month since 1985. In fact, the Afternoon Book Club is the longest library-run book club in the entire state of Michigan. As they celebrate the anniversary with members, both new and original, they also chose 12 books they will read in 2016. So if you're looking for some reading buddies, they say you don't even have to belong to the library. Just come to the meetings. They would love to have you. Well, backed by popular demand, the Macomb Symphony Orchestra delighted moviegoers during Holiday at the Movies. The orchestra accompanied clips from classic holiday movies like White Christmas and It's a Wonderful Life. They also played songs from The Sound of Music and The Nutcracker, and you can watch Holiday at the Movies in its entirety right here on Shelby TV. Well, Vincent Joe's is doing its part to support breast cancer. The Gourmet Market presented a check for $2,500 to the organization Team Angels.
And we are going to use this money for research and for mammograms for people who can't afford them and for different things for cancer patients.
The money was raised through donations from customers, and Vincent Joe's matched it all dollar for dollar. Well, hundreds of people woke up early, strapped on their running shoes, and spent the morning running in the Jingle Bell 5K Run. Charlie Cadato has that story.
And with that, 400 runners took off for the 6th annual Jingle Bell 5K Run, benefiting 8 local charities this year.
This is an all-time record in a couple ways. I've raised over $8,000 just in sponsorship, and the most I've ever raised is probably $2,500.
Michael Ward is the organizer. He established the race in 2010 and says it's only gotten bigger.
And everybody comes dressed and gets in the spirit. It's just a fun morning for people, and at the same time they can stay fit.
Charities include the Macomb Special Olympics, Wounded Warriors, Shelby Veterans, among others.
I had a good time. It was fun, little hilly, but you know, you got to get used to it.
The race started at the community center, went through Cherry Creek Golf Course, around May Stecker Park, and back. Trophies were awarded to the top male and female, master male and female, and senior male and female. Runners say they're looking forward to next year. For Shelby This Week, I'm Charlie Cadato.
And a familiar face was in the run. Here's a picture of Shelby Township's attorney, Robert Huth, who was also a part of the event. Well, coming up, local hospitals in trouble. Find out which ones are being penalized and for what. And a furry friend for the holidays, Macomb County's Animal Control and the shelter, they need your help. We'll tell you more after the break.
Take my hand and start a brand new day. Underneath everything we are all people. And when we reach out a hand to one, we can influence the condition of all. That's what it means to live united.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
24 hospitals in the state are ranking at the bottom of the barrel due to a high number of patient infections. Health officials are concerned over the number of Michigan hospitals being penalized for hospital-acquired conditions. These conditions include bloodstream, urinary tract, or surgical site infections, or even ulcers. The law requires some of the lowest-ranking hospitals to be penalized by reducing Medicare payments by 1% next year and hopes they'll be held accountable for these issues. Some of those hospitals include Henry Ford Macomb in Clinton Township, McLaren Macomb in Mount Clemens, and DMC Detroit Receiving Hospital. The Macomb County Animal Control and the shelter is hoping to empty the kennels. Right now, until the end of the month, adoption fees will be waived and all animals will be up for adoption for just a monetary donation. Regular applicant screening processes will still be applied though, but all available animals are vaccinated, spayed or neutered, and microchipped. So, if you're interested in a new furry friend for the holidays, contact the Macomb County Animal Control. They want all of their homeless animals to have a permanent home by Christmas. Well, Santa Claus took time out of his busy schedule at the North Pole's workshop to get toys from Shelby's municipal office and bring them to the Samaritan House. John Martin has more on his trip here to Shelby.
The generous employees of Shelby Township donated canned food and household goods to benefit the Samaritan House of Macomb County. To deliver all this before Christmas, Santa Claus paid a visit to the Township Hall.
Merry Christmas, everybody. And I understand you're going to the Samaritan House with all these gifts. Yes, that's where we're going. That's our next stop. Great. Well, I'm going to go with you.
Because there's no snow, Santa Claus left his sleigh at the North Pole and brought his pickup instead.
Santa Claus is ready to go. Ho, 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 Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho. Right here.
There you go. Perfect. The folks at the Samaritan House were happy to see Santa Claus and even happier to see all the donated goods, which will benefit families in need this Christmas. For Shelby This Week, this has been John Martin reporting.
And don't you worry, Santa didn't bring his reindeer this time, so there won't be any reindeer leavings in the township. Shelby Township Police are doing their part to make the holidays a little merrier for kids here in the community during their annual Shop with a Cop event at Walmart. Now, the store doesn't allow professional cameras like ours inside, so Stacy Sansatera had to get a little creative using her iPhone to bring you this story.
The Shelby Township Police Department were Santa's helpers recently at the annual Shop with a Cop.
This is a time for the police officers to kind of get involved in the community again. With our FOP, they donate the money to take the kids shopping, along with the officers, to try to help out kids and families that are on hard times, maybe lost their job, maybe have been sick, maybe medical bills have built up, or we have a couple that have lost a parent, one that's suffering cancer, and so we're just trying to lift the spirit for the holidays.
The purpose of this popular event is to focus positive relationships between youth and officers.
So many times the kids think, oh, you're just going to be in trouble. There's a police officer, look out. So we want to try to get away from that labeling and try to put a good impact on the kids.
We actually just got our first video game system, so it's a PlayStation. That's the first time we ever did that, so my kids are all excited.
What do you think about shopping with a cop?
I think it's cool. Well, it's neat because I've never shopped with a cop before. I've seen a cop in the store before, so it's kind of interesting. It's cool that you get to get something.
This one?
Shop with a Cop continues to break down barriers by developing more trusting relationships in the community. For Shelby This Week, I'm Stacy Sansatera.
Merry Christmas!
And Shelby is just one of dozens of police departments across Metro Detroit who put on these annual Shop with a Cop events in an effort to keep kids on the right path and, of course, make sure they know that police officers are their friends. And that's it here for us at Shelby This Week. You can watch us all the time at shelbytv.org. And don't forget to like us on Facebook. Just search Shelby TV.